Hey, I'm back with another video on evade target lock. So we can talk about this patch that just came out this past Thursday and kind of talk about why I call it a partial fix. And overall, I'm pleased with the changes. I'm just a little disappointed, I guess, that, well, we'll get into that. So let's just start with evade target lock. First of all. And I am in a 1v1 match with myself, my other free-to-play build, which has evade target lock, but I'm just going to show something. So evade target lock, right, it works. You have 4 different effects that it applies. So 2 of them to enemies. The first one is reducing the damage they deal to you for 20 seconds, and that 20 seconds is fixed. Doesn't matter what your control skill is or any of that stuff. And then the second one is that it disables your enemy for however much control you have. So in this case, on the build I'm on right now, I don't even have an intel seat, but just, you know, for the sake of testing, the disable time is 9.9 seconds. So the whole problem before was that if you use this on someone, they were disabled completely for the entire 9.9 seconds. And there was, you know, basically no counter. And that was why it was so ridiculously overpowered and why we complained for, you know, like 4 months to get it fixed. And, you know, it is funny. I reported the bug March 18th in-game, March 19th on the forums, March 19th on Twitter because someone told me I should post there instead. And then I did that video where I went through the testing and all the problems with evade target lock. Like at the end of May or June or whatever. I never got any replies, and then finally someone tweeted that video to Bordicus for this is like the 3rd time that it's been tweeted to him, and they looked at it, but it took them a long time. I get that they were busy with Stormfall or whatever, but it was a little disappointing that it took that long. And now what they've done finally is the disable time is now reduced by an enemy's control skill. So real quick, let me take off evasive tactics. That is something else I want to talk about there. So this enemy ship on the tooltip, evade target lock 3 will disable me for 7.4 seconds. So let's try that. I'm disabled. That was definitely shorter than 7.4 seconds. Let me see how much control skill I have. 296. So I have a pretty high control skill on this build. But that disabled duration was very short. And I like that. So that's a good improvement. What they didn't fix was actually clearing it. So if you get disabled and you want to clear something, you have to activate some ability. Usually a disable is cleared by engineering team because that repairs disabled systems. Says it right on the tooltip. However, engineering team does not clear evade target lock. According to Twitter, I didn't know this actually, so this is relatively newer to me. Tactical team clears evade target lock because I guess evade target lock is considered a tactical debuff. That's fine. I understand that. So if I hit tactical team and then during that first 5 seconds I get hit with ETL, it automatically clears it. That's great. However, when you get hit with ETL, tac team also gets disabled. You can't activate it while you're disabled. So you can't actually clear ETL with tactical team. And maybe that's not really worth talking about now that the disabled duration is so short. It doesn't really matter. But I am a little bit annoyed, I guess, that they didn't fix that or that they didn't make it get cleared with engineering team, which seems to make more sense. But even if you left it as tac team, at least make it so you can activate tac team even while disabled or something. Anyway, overall, though, very, very pleased with that. That is a huge improvement. But the thing that didn't get fixed is number 3, which is a self buff. Untargetable for however many seconds, and that number of seconds scales with your control skill. So on the sample ship that I have here, this Scryer, that ship is untargetable for 7.4 seconds, regardless of if I clear evade target lock early or whatever. So let me just do an example. I'll hit Tac Team. I'll get hit with evade target lock, which instantly clears, and I cannot attack. Or I can click and target him, but I could not attack. There we go, until that 7 seconds is up. Well, there goes pseudo submission, but you know what I'm saying. Basically, the self buff, because it's affecting you, you know, like it's making you untargetable for that many seconds, it's not countered by anything. Which I guess is fine, it's just not ideal, you know. Instead of, there should never be a situation in the game, besides damage, I guess, that's like a hard binary, like on-off switch. That's how I feel about these kind of things. Like, instead of untargetable, how about grants 4,000 stealth for 9.9 seconds, or grants 50 damage resistance for 9 seconds. I guess damage resistance doesn't make sense. How about defense? Grants 100 defense for 9.9 seconds. Something like that. That way, there's a counter. Someone attacking you, if it's defense, they could have higher accuracy. If it's stealth, they could have higher perception. Some way to counter that. Right now, untargetable just means there's nothing you can do until that timer runs out at all. And the real kicker, and I think this is funny, more funny than anything else, but like let me enter combat real quick, and I'll spawn in like Nimbus pirates, right? If that ship uses evade target lock on this pirate, so evade target lock, it's untargetable to me even though he didn't use it on me, because it's a self buff. And the even funnier thing is evade target lock also makes you untargetable by teammates. I know not a lot of people fly healers, but it's pretty funny when I fly my healer, if someone uses evade target lock and I try to heal them, I can't, because I can't target my teammate while they have ETL up. It's just a weird decision. So I tweeted about that to Bordicus, but I'm not sure if we'll ever see that get fixed. And then I don't want to linger too long on this sort of thing, but I joined the Star Trek Facebook group, and they have this post about, you know, people ranting and complaining about stuff. And I agree. You shouldn't just be like ranting and raving on Facebook about bugs or whatever. But this person says, if you have bugs, take it to the official forum. And that has got to be one of the funniest things I've seen, because like if I go to the forum and I look at my account, let me see. I'll just go straight to my posts, because I don't really post a lot there. I mostly just post the bugs. Let's see. So I posted about the ETL issue March 19th, 48 hours after the patch came out. I posted about the Lambda issue. I posted about these. I added more details in my testing methodology. I mean, I bump it every like week or so. You know, with more information and more details, and nothing ever gets done. I mean, clearly, I posted my video here June 11th, and it took until July for that to even get noticed because somebody tweeted it. So clearly, if the correct channel is to use the forums are not being read by the developers. They're not really paying attention or something. But they are paying attention to Twitter for whatever reason. And I also reported the problem in the in-game here under character issues, abilities. I wrote a whole report here in-game, and the in-game, the support response I got was post about it on the forums. So, you know, you would think like you'd report a bug in-game, and then the person that receives that report from you would then go and create a Jira ticket or whatever they use at Cryptic for it to get fixed, but clearly that's not happening. So who knows what the official channels for bug reporting are? I don't, and neither does Cryptic. So, and speaking of bugs, and here's the next one, huge improvement, I guess I'd say. Let me look at this guy. He's got him. Yep. So huge improvement. Now, when you activate attack pattern Lambda, you get the accuracy and perception buff upon activation instead of needing your weapons to fire. So thank you for that fix. However, the eagle-eyed among you might have already noticed. Lambda 3 grants 35 perception and or 250 perception and 35 accuracy, and so does Lambda 2. And so does Lambda 1, because someone copied and pasted the exact same buff across all our 3 ranks now. So Lambda 3 still does reduce perception. If you look at the effect on foes, it still reduces it by 450. But previously, Lambda 3 granted 450 perception, which was really useful for dealing with Exodus users. Now it's only 250, which is a pretty big but unintentional nerf, and one I'm not sure we'll ever see fixed. And that is after having it already nerfed, because prior to the Intel revamp, Lambda 3 granted 500 perception, and they lowered it to 450 for some reason. So that's a pretty big oopsie there, but I mean, a net improvement in the way that it works, but just such a weird, sloppy mistake there. So hopefully we see that fixed and things come together. So anyway, I know that was a short video. Oh, one other thing, and huge props again for these fixes. But something interesting. So Fresh from R&R is supposed to clear a control effect automatically, and so is Smuggler's Luck, which I have on as well. When you lose a shield facing, you gain immunity to control. And this ship has carrier wave shield hacking, so I am going to lose my shield facing immediately. But if you look, when I get evade target locked, there's no buff icon for Fresh from R&R or Smuggler's Luck, so those do not work against evade target lock. However, they did fix evasive tactics to work against evade target lock. So again, I'm not really sure how much use that actually will have in the grand scheme of things, especially since evade target lock has such a short duration now. Honestly, I think like if you're using a ship that previously had evade target lock and you don't need the defensive untargetable buff, there are better offensive choices. I mean, Ionic Turbulence and EMP Probe, or even like subnucleonic carrier wave or kinetic magnet or something. There's a lot of good options now that I'd probably use in that slot instead. But, you know, still interesting if, so I have evasive tactics on now. I get evade target locked and it's instantly cleared by the evasive tactics. So good job on fixing that. I mean, overall, more improvements than negatives, but I'd still like to see Lambda properly fixed again. So, all right, well, thanks for watching, and see you all for the PvP arena in 37 hours, 33 hours. I can't do math. However long that is, another day or two after the Gamma skirmishes. So I'm looking forward to that. Probably fly some of my free-to-play builds around and try to help out some new people get involved in the game, and try to make it fun for everybody. So thanks for watching. Bye.